All right, we're back. Coon Prairie Ramblers here, confabulating, mind meandering, and all that stuff, and talking about everything there is to talk about. And we're going to talk about
born on the 4th of July.
Born on the 4th of July. Hey, you know, and I know some people who were born on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Well, you think it was intentional?
Yeah, well,
That takes some good planning.
well, my former pastor, Tom Knickerbocker, was born on the 4th of July.
Really?
But,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
My son was born in 1976. I know it wasn't on the 4th of July, but I've always said he's a bicentennial baby.
Yeah.
We had 2 presidents die on July 4th.
That's
Three
right.
presidents.
3? Well, 2 the same day. Same exact day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson and I think John Adams.
Something like that.
John Quincy
Yeah,
Adams.
but 3
same
presidents
day.
died on the 4th of July.
Well, who's the third one?
You would have to ask.
George Washington.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard that.
So anyhow,
Everybody's Googling now.
when you hear
Don't be Googling. Y'all be listening to us.
the
Couldn't get
4th
on
of July,
Step away from the Google.
or you think about the 4th of July, or you plan for the 4th of July, what do you really comes to your mind? What makes you think that it's the 4th? What makes the 4th complete for you?
Well, my wife's off. So I got to put up with her.
Yeah,
She'll be off work.
That's me too. I got a plan for that.
Yeah. But as a kid, it was the fireworks. You know, I mean, I'm sure in school, and back, I went there in the old days. I was back in the 50s when they was telling me about the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And I know that my teachers were very diligent to tell us back, because I went to a country school, and I remember my first grade teacher and the second grade teacher getting together and going through the manual, making sure that they had the flags hung right, that they weren't doing anything wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So-
it was important. Once
So
upon a
yeah,
time.
and it was important, and I knew that they instructed us as to what the 4th of July was all about. But the excitement. I grew up in a little town, and I grew up in a lot of little towns. I was all over the place, but some of the every little town has they play have a softball game. The adult league and the kids and everything, the old timers, and then at the end of the day, it was always the fireworks.
That's right.
And a little town of Carroll, Ohio, where I was at for a little while. I mean, the fire department, that was their baby, and they took care of that. And they put on a spectacular show.
You spend a lot of money on fireworks.
Oh yeah,
I mean, thousands of dollars.
oh yeah.
Something that lasts an hour, maybe, if that.
Well, one of the things here, other than the fireworks, I always thought about was a parade. It just seemed like
Parade, that's
everybody
right,
turned
yeah.
out, and everybody was, red, white, and blue, and waving flags and celebrating the 4th of July in that way. And I also always remember, we always barbecued. Always. We always had ribs and something good to eat on the 4th of July. So I always equated parades and barbecue.
Yeah.
And that's, I thought about the fact that we were celebrating our country's birthday in 1776 on July 4th. We declared our independence. And always thought about that. But one thing I've liked about this holiday is it's not as commercialized as a lot of other holidays are.
Mm-hmm.
So many holidays we have are just turned into
A joke.
Yeah.
and a lot of people take that advantage, or not advantage, but they think of drinking.
Yeah.
I don't. I have in the past. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't.
For a lot of people, when it's the day
When I
off,
think
it's
about
the day to
drinking,
drink.
I'm thinking I hope people don't get drunk and drive a car or drink and drive. I always worry about that because you can't take back certain things that happen, and if you wreck the car and you hurt somebody or kill somebody, that's something you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. And I always hope that people just won't do that. But regardless of all the opportunities not to, and the programs people have now, and somebody's going to get behind the wheel of a car and they're going to drive drunk. But even we don't have enough holidays, so we got to adopt other people's holidays to drink. We got to have drinking on the Cinco de Mayo, St. Patrick's Day. I think if there was any more that we could think of, we'd bring those in on us too. But on July 4th, to me, it's more about, family and friends and eating and going to parades and fireworks. What about you, Luke?
I wonder if it means
in your
more
mind?
to people who served in the military. July the 4th would have to be a little deeper meaning, I would think, or anybody who'd lost a family member in a war or something like that. I would think so. It'd be like kind of like Memorial Day and a Veterans Day, or something. But I don't know. I think of the parades like you were saying, and for a little old bitty town, we put on a pretty good parade here. There's always plenty of horses in it.
Yeah,
it's being a cow town. There's nothing wrong with that, but lots of red, white, and blue, and
police
and I
cars,
enjoy that.
fire trucks.
That's right.
There's always the FHP, the DeSoto County Sheriff's Department, and the Highway Patrol.
They like to turn
and
the
then
sirens
fire
on
trucks.
too.
Oh
You
boy,
ain't kidding.
They'll deafen you. Think when you're coming down through the town and they got the buildings
Bouncing off them buildings left and
wow.
right. You know how on the Christmas parade they have the last thing coming through is a fire truck, just about with Santa Claus on it. They should do that here on 4th of July and put Uncle Sam on it.
Yeah.
That's a good
Somebody dressed as
idea.
Uncle Sam throwing out flags or something like
What a
that.
great idea.
I don't
You know, and I also think about everybody expects people to give out candy, especially politicians.
Politicians.
Yeah.
They're expected to give out candy, and used to be they just threw it. They just ride it in trucks and throw it, and the kids would be sitting on the curbs, and they'd jump out and get their candy, and somewhere some kid got run over and killed on rain on everybody's parade. But so nowadays, if you give out candy, they want you to walk and hand out the candy, not to throw it out. And I can understand that. I mean, but it was fun to watch kids come scattering and and screaming and hollering for you. Throw it away.
Well, it's exciting for the adults too, standing in back of them, like, "Hey, go get that one! Go get that
Kind
one!"
of like Mardi Gras,
Yeah.
where they ride by and throw out beads and stuff. But I usually forget to do it, to wear something red, white, and blue. But when I go down there, I'm always surprised at how many people are. I'm reminded when I see all this, and I say, I wish I would have wore something more patriotic. But it's a good parade. But imagine, we got like 40 people running for office this year. It's going to be a long parade.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more people out there.
Yeah.
They're going to be smooching If you don't want your baby smooched on, you better keep it away from the front row. They're going to
they're
get kissed to
be
death.
walking and dodge the horse droppings and hope they put the horses at the end.
Well, they're supposed to, but you never know.
Nah, the horse they get.
Tractor Supply is a good place if you ever want to buy you a flags
Patriotic
T-shirt, because every year they have out several different T-shirts with flags and patriotic themes to it. It's it'll be like 2016 tractor, and I mean it's an advertisement for them, but it's also a patriotic thing. And I usually always get one. I've got several at the house, and I'm sure I'll probably end up with them. But they sell them cheaper than normal. I mean, they're like
that's good.
$4 or $5. You buy you a shirt, with a flag on it.
That's unusual. Normally you're $15, $20.
Yeah.
Another thing, as a kid, we don't have as many bands nowadays playing in the parades. As a kid, you'd have, a high school band would be playing, and then another visiting band, from another high school would march by.
Yeah.
And I can remember my sister was 8 years older than me, so when she was in high school, I was a little guy. And I can remember standing in the crowd, looking, between people, and looking for my sister, marching down.
She was in a band.
She was in the band and playing her clarinet. And I always had I always loved my sister, and because she was 8 years, she was my big sister.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever had any bands here other than the local high school band. I don't ever remember having any other
No,
bands.
you see like the majorettes and a drum team or something like that.
And the
once in
bands
a while.
wore uniforms back in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, a few times there's been floats that had like a country band playing something on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a marching band. I think it's only ever been our local high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see much of that.
And I think bands are shrinking these days.
Amazing shrinking band.
I know my wedding band is. It's like to choke my finger off. The fatter I get.
The smaller it gets.
That's right. Anyhow, we're about out of time here, so we're going to have to get on out of here, and we'll be back for another segment in a short. Y'all stay tuned.